Hello, and welcome to this week's Meaningful Minute. This week I've been thinking about two words, but God. And but God is mentioned in the Bible several times, and it's usually in a situation where things look hopeless and helpless, and then God intervenes. So I want to share with you three verses where but God is mentioned. And the first one is in Genesis chapter 50, where Joseph has been sold into slavery by his brothers. And 13 years later, he encounters them again. And he says, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." And then in the New Testament, Paul is writing to the Romans, and he says that we were helpless and lost, but God demonstrates his own love toward us by having Christ die for us. And then again in his letter to the Ephesians, in chapter 2, Paul says, "We were indulging the desires of the flesh, which were leading to death. But God, being rich in mercy, made us alive." So these are just three examples of how God steps in. And maybe this week you're feeling kind of hopeless and helpless. And I would encourage you to ask God to intervene. And so have a great week, and remember, but God.